Hi, I'm Jasmina Vico. Welcome to my clinic.
How does it feel?
Well, I mean,
Twitching.
look at me. You did this because you thought it would shut me up, and it happened. Oh, God.
Okay, you ready? Do you want to relax?
No, I'll do it like this.
No, you can't.
Okay.
Where are you doing it?
Yeah.
But you didn't put any cream there.
The last one.
Oh!
Yeah.
Today I have the pleasure of speaking to Jasmina Vico at her skin clinic in London. Jasmina is a skin health and laser expert and is truly one of the most pioneering and forward-thinking aestheticians, skin experts, whatever you want to call it, in London. And I've been coming to Jasmina now for about 7 years. Jasmina's approach is backed by science, and I feel like you are so engaged in everything that's going on, not just in the UK, but around the world, in Korea, in the States. And she really is at the forefront of the face game. So today we're going to talk about lasers, we're going to talk about pigmentation, and you guys have sent in some questions and we'll be answering those too. So how did you get into aesthetics?
When I was younger, I was always fascinated by smell, potions, lotions, apothecary bottles.
You're a witch.
Yeah, basically, a good witch.
A good witch.
So I'm fascinated by smell, but then also like the film, the color, David Lynch, that's always kind of one of my muses or inspiration, and kind of the blue velvet and the red lipstick. So that's kind of the beauty part of it. And aesthetics is, I guess, fascination with science.
And so when did you first set up your clinic in London?
It's going to be about 8 years ago, and I kind of read this quote in, I don't know where it was, sorry, this is quite emotional, but this is quite true.
No worries, go for it.
I read this quote that he said, in life you need to make your own plans, because if you don't, you follow into other people's plans, and guess what, they had planned for you, not much. And I went to a bank and I took a loan and bought my first laser.
Awesome. I have to say, that is quite moving, because I remember when I first came to Jasmina, I was also relatively new to the kind of treatments and aesthetics side of things, and I felt in such safe hands because there was really this wholesome approach to not just, we weren't just doing lasers and doing facials, but you were talking to me about the way I lived and the choices that I made. And I remember so much of our conversations were about stress management and ways to actually make you feel better from the inside, and how important that is to kind of for the outside. I'll never forget, I was leaving the clinic and she chucked a bag of herbs at me and told me that this is what Croatian bears eat in hibernation. You need to drink that before bed. I'll never forget that.
Well, I think I always kind of use nature as well as a kind of biomimicry in a way. We're kind of replicating, and I think that's what science is currently working as well. When we talk about exosomes, I can explain a little bit more how we actually need science. So I guess it's a part of our life, you know, the food.
At the moment, what do you think are the most important things for skin health?
Sleep.
Damn it. Yeah, next.
Sleep is the most important thing. When you sleep, you technically don't age.
Sleep forever.
Yeah,
so
Sleeping Beauty.
So it's good to be lazy.
Yeah.
You're allowed to be lazy.
Yeah.
Say you can't sleep. What are the other things that you can do for skin health?
I guess it's a gut health, skin treatments, supplements, and sun protection.
Jasmina has her own line of supplements that are all about energy, about gut health, about skin health. So what is it about gut health?
So the way I kind of look at it, and I want to give people like a kind of a short story about it, it's why we age and why we die, because body gets inflamed. And according to Chinese, it's the fire in a body. So gut is your sort of almost like a beginning of you, and it stores all this data and information. So if your gut has been destroyed from your young age, let's say you're on medication or stress, you are destroying all this serotonin, let's say through medication, but also it's the acidity in the gut that actually kind of is connected to the skin and through the brain.
So gut would be your first port of call to start looking.
I'm kind of like a skin detective. I would sort of investigate a client's when they come and see me, like, where do you live, where you're from, your genetics, what did you eat when you were younger, what your medication, and then you kind of investigate what has happened. And it's always almost finding that root cause rather than symptoms.
That's so interesting because, you know, I've been to lots and lots of facialists, estheticians, had lots of different sort of laser treatments and you know, microneedling, but nobody's ever asked me about my background. And I think it's almost like a kind of Eastern philosophy where you look at the much bigger picture. And I think that's a really special thing about the way you approach it. You really take everybody on a case-by-case basis and go beyond what's the superficial issue with the skin. It's like, why are you not sleeping? Or
but I'm actually interested in people. I like people. I like to know who they are. I'm like a kind of like a little child. I want to know everything, like what makes you, and that's kind of maybe where it starts from, to understand then your skin through your health, to correct and navigate what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong.
So we're talking about bacteria on the skin and the importance of
Yeah, so you have
type of bacteria.
basically the way I look at it, it's like you have a good bacteria, friendly bacteria, and bad bacteria. What we are trying to get, it's work in harmony, almost like an AI kind of swarming together to actually support you with your health and your mental health. And the same with the skin. If you're overstripping, overwashing, you're removing the good oils and good bacteria from your skin. Plus we have a Demodex mite that actually lives in your skin, in your pores, and they don't like sugar, dairy, wheat, because they do actually like it because that's their food, and then they get bigger and then they mate overnight in your skin, in your pores.
How do you get rid of the Demodex mite?
They don't like laser light, they don't like the light.
Do they like infrared light?
They don't like any light. So you kind of have to have I think the right amount of Demodex mite in your skin. But if they get bigger, then your pores get bigger because they move around, and then they feed off sebum, and then they poo in their body, so they can't kind of eliminate it.
That's so ugly.
They're kind of cute, actually.
Disgusting.
Oh no, that's so funny. Look, let's just take a short clip here and look at the Demodex mite.
I actually gave it to some of my clients, like an image of it, and put it like a rucksack with a bottle of wine and bread. Just to remind them. That's why your skin will tell you what's happening in your body by being kind of imbalanced. This is the thing. We actually have to live in harmony with some of these bacteria because
You're actually not paying the rent. It's free all the time.
The voice you can hear in the background is actually Masha, who is your sister and who does a lot of the IV here. What does Matt tell? Because I think this is also the other really important thing about Jasmina's clinic. Not only do you work with your fabulous twin, come on Masha, just poke your head on. We may as well, right? Well, she's here. Ladies and gents, this is Masha. So Masha performs IV drips in the clinic. And what do you...
And research. So the way we work in a clinic, everything is inside-outside approach, and it's kind of, you go through the door through a washing machine, and we basically like sort of tumble dry, and you'd have everything done from, we do acupuncture here, IV drips, and then we're going to start doing blood profiling with America. So basically functional medicine. We kind of want to find out the root cause of your skin concerns, essentially. And then through the body, we do all the clearing. Overall health, but also increase your lifespan and longevity.
One other memory I have of Jasmina a couple of years ago, and I think this really cemented you being one of my favorite people ever, was I asked her who her muse is, who her sort of icon or her muse is, and she looked at me and she said, it's the jellyfish. Do you remember that? Because they live forever. I was like, okay.
Well, that's what science is currently working, is understanding how they actually can just die and get born again from their own body. Another creature is salamander as well. That's what we will be able to do this probably in the near future.
The jellyfish witch.
Yeah.
So let's talk about lasers, because we're here to talk about lasers and also pigmentation. I suffer from pigmentation, and I've come to you in the past to kind of look at some of my skin concerns. Can we talk about what pigmentation is, why, or hyperpigmentation, why it happens, and how you can treat it with a laser?
So, I mean, what I always, again, like to educate people and give them a little bit of story. So you work in fashion and you work with film. So what the film used to be, maybe some of these people won't remember it used to be analog, and film is actually made from gelatin, which is extracted from collagen. So when you think of the film and old photographs, they oxidize in a sunlight through the oxidative stress, this is exactly what happens to our skin. So it's collagen degradation, a loss of elastin, a loss of fibroblast.
So how do lasers help to correct that and improve the texture and quality of the skin?
So there is different type of lasers. So you have IPL and then you have a laser. So we need to first establish, again, genetics, Fitzpatrick scale, which is 1 to 6, which skin type you are suitable for different type of lasers, because not everybody is, and this is where it becomes a problem. Then you have hyperpigmentation, and then you have melasma. So melasma is more suited in a deeper layer of the skin, in a dermis, which is technically impossible to remove, because if you apply different lasers, you can actually stimulate it. And melasma can get stimulated by heat, and it can get stimulated by hormones, and also post-inflammatory.
So how do people with deeper skin tones use lasers? Because I know that obviously lasers can react with the kind of colour scale, and the deeper the colour, it can often be too intense. So how do you do that?
So IPL, it's only suitable for skin type 1 to 3, not melasma. You can treat photorejuvenation and sun spots. And Nd:YAG laser can treat some skin types very safely. For the deeper skin tones, it's kind of a protocol of retinols and some steroids and hydroquinone and glutathione. So technically glutathione is going to be really interesting to work on hyperpigmentation for pretty much everybody.
I'd love to talk about supplements, because I think that's one of the things that I often call Jasmina and I say, this is my problem, or, what does this do? And I've had NAD infusions with you, and we've talked about glutathione and how important it is. What do you think are kind of the top 5 ingestibles or supplements or drips or whatever that are good for skin health?
The supplement that I always recommend for everybody, it would be liposomal vitamin C, because it boosts the collagen production and reduces inflammation in your body. But it's kind of umbrella of supplements.
And you can get that in a pill form?
So liposomal is liquid,
okay,
which is delivered straight into the cells. But if people can't get the liquid one, then you can just get like 1,000 milligrams.
Does Barocca work?
It doesn't have enough vitamin C, but it has B complex.
Okay.
But it's a good one.
Okay.
You take,
Win some, you lose
I
some.
take 2, yeah. Because we are all depleted vitamin C, because our brain uses a lot of energy. The supplements that I take all the time is vitamin C, vitamin D, spermidine.
What's spermidine?
Spermidine, it comes actually from soy fermented beans, natto, which is like the Japanese, which is really full of, actually it's been proven that it can help with pigmentation, but also it boosts, creates new elastin and collagen in the skin. It's really like plump.
So that's why.
And
Reduces the inflammation.
and reduces the inflammation. So we were talking now before why we age and why we die, because body gets inflamed. What is science working? It's reducing and removing the inflammation.
Got it. So actually doing things outside of just ingestibles as well.
Spermidine here is the white one.
I can take one.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
What about all the others? Spermidine, thank you. That better not have been a little LSD number. So now Jasmina's going to answer some of your questions that you sent in to me last week. So, if you're on a budget, what's the best treatment to start with?
Well, there is different type of treatments you can do, but if you're really, really on a budget, then it's just a skin filter, really.
An
isn't it?
Instagram filter.
Yeah.
Perfect. So one laser treatment you would recommend?
If it's only one laser treatment, I would probably suggest to work with Nd:YAG laser, which is kind of overall skin health, to again reduce the inflammation in the skin. Before we do the prep with different sort of exfoliators, and then we can go over and do like a sort of rosacea setting that really kind of benefits for the skin health.
So when you talk about anti-inflammatory, laser sounds like it would inflame your skin.
Yes, this is kind of biggest misconception with the lasers, because what people don't understand, there is so many different type of lasers, and now we have lasers that we use at home. Lasers are attracted to different chromophores. You have hemoglobin, water, and pigment, melanin. So that's what they target. And then you have resurfacing, ablative, and then we can treat capillaries, veins, anything like that. And then boosting collagen production, which is the one they're attracted to, no hemoglobin, but the water.
So I saw something on Instagram recently. A dermatologist was talking about the vermilion border around your lips, which is the kind of the line of the lip, and how you have to be very careful with exfoliating and also applying certain creams, because you can break down that border. Can you tell me about this?
Yeah, this kind of makes sense because it will travel into the sort of, I guess, orbital muscle, and if you're using anything that might be kind of lightening, you might be able to lose the color and the pigment.
Right, so you have to be quite careful.
Yeah, and also your skin might be dry or chapped.
What's the best laser for acne?
So best laser for acne, it's Nd:YAG laser, which will target the bacteria in the acne, and then there's different settings that you can use to create healthier skin.
And what about skin supplements for acne?
For the acne, skin supplements, again, anything that is anti-inflammatory, glutathione because it flushes the liver and reduces the stress in the body. So again, we're kind of always going back to the back to the gut, yeah, because that's the kind of the brain, really, isn't it?
I need a miracle for my chronic eczema. Please help.
So it's stress, sugar, dairy, wheat. And if you really want to treat it properly, again, lasers work really well. Acupuncture, which will be like 6 sessions.
So again, it's about bringing down the inflammation.
Yeah, it's again, we're going back into the heat.
Into the gut.
Yeah.
Do you do face fitness exercises, like ones without devices like a gua sha or a microcurrent?
At home?
Do you do any of the...
Well, I think there are some
Face
great
makeup.
people out there on internet that do really great stuff. I kind of do a little bit of like intraoral at home sometimes and massages, yeah.
Because I know you have a microcurrent device at the clinic.
Yeah,
What
it's
do you think about-
electromuscle. It's electromuscle stimulator. So basically, this is the new device on the market that works on exercising your muscles. Some muscles you need to release, detoxify the skin, and then you need to lift them. So with the contracting of the muscle, you actually make them stronger, and this one also works on ligaments, so you can actually really see the difference.
Why are lasers so important for skin rejuvenation?
It's physics, it's power. Like if you go to CERN near Geneva, like that Hadron Collider, it's like size of 3 of these buildings. Like scientists are developing something that is so complex that you can't put in the size of like little box. It's like a Formula 1 car. The motor is like engineering on that. It's like a spaceship level.
I guarantee you won't go to any other skin health expert and they'll talk to you about hydrogen colliders. This is why she's
which is
so
amazing.
special.
Have you been? It's actually great.